Good morning. This is just a review going over the quiz review that's in your classwork packet. So get out the packet that says classwork and you're going to go to, it's actually not numbered, but it's after the last page that we did. So this question right here is pretty easy. You just need to remember that the angles in a triangle add up to equal 180. All of them, all three of them have to add up to equal 180. In this case, we have this little box thing means 90 plus 30. So 90 plus 30 is 120. 180 minus 120 is 60. So angle 2 is 60. This forms a straight line. A linear pair also adds up to be 180, but if this side is 90, 180 minus 90 is also 90. So this side is also going to be 90. So this right here is 90, this is 60. You can find angle 1. Now angle 2, there's different ways you can do this, but they want you to remember that the remote interior angles add up to equal the outside angle. So it doesn't always add up to be 180 or always add up to be 90 or anything like that. It's just the ones that don't touch the exterior angle. Like we can't use angle 2. It has to be the other ones that don't touch 102. They add up, so 68 plus x equals 102. And then you can always find angle 2 by adding these two up and subtracting them from 180, or you could have found angle 2 by subtracting 102 from 180 because they form a straight line. In this one, all you need to know is that this side has a dash and this side has a dash. This means that these two sides are equal. It means it's an isosceles triangle, and that means that the base, the opposite angles, the base angles are also equal. So we don't know what they are, but they're both x. So this one is 44 plus x equals 180. When you find out, combine your like terms, 2x plus 44 equals 180. When you find out what x is, you got to plug it in, and then you're going to have to subtract it from 180 again to find out angle 1. I'm going very quickly. I need you guys to pause the video after each question and make sure that you're trying this out. This is telling you that this is x and this is x. They're not giving you this angle, but we know that these two angles are equal, and I can find this angle. So we're going to have to add up 65 and 31 and subtract it from 180. 65 plus 31 is 96. Try it out and make sure I did that right. 180 minus 96 is going to be positive 84. But if this side is positive 84, then the vertical angle is also 84. Look like a 9. This is also 84. And then we know that the angles in a triangle, again, add up to be 180. So x plus 84 equals 180. And I'm looking at this right triangle now for that, so I can find out what x is, because that's really what they asked us. Now in this case, we just got to remember that the angles in a triangle add up to be 180. And there's just a little bit of algebra involved. 2x minus 1, parentheses around it because we have to distribute the 2, plus this angle, which is x plus 8, plus we have to have 3 angles. So this is one, this is the other. This one is 90. Even though they don't tell us that, we have to add that in there to equal 180. I have to have 3 angles. So in this case, you're going to have to distribute the 2 first. 2x minus 2, this is probably the most common mistake, plus x plus 8 plus 90 equals 180. I want you guys to combine like terms and then solve. Number 6, the only way you can do number 6 is to remember the exterior angle theorem. This is the exterior angle, it's the one on the outside. And we have to remember that the remote 2 interior angles, like 2x plus 35, they add up to equal the outside angle 7x. What I would do for this one is just move the 2x to the right. So we have to subtract it to move it to the right. And we get 35 equals 5x, and then solve for me. Well, that one's pretty easy. Now in this case, this one is on your quiz right here. Most of them are, but this one definitely is. It says using the information, which angle, remember we circle what they actually want us to find, has the least measure. They're not asking us to put it in order. Least means the small. In order to find out the smallest angle, I need to find out the smallest side. I have 52, 52, and 50. 50 looks like this is the small side. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover it up with my hand. I can't show you my hand on here, so I'm gonna show you my, I'm gonna cover it up with this heart. And if I cover up this whole side with, if I cover up this whole side with my hand, then it's gonna show me angle X. This angle X, we can label it as just angle X is my smallest angle, but we usually label it with 3 letters, and on your quiz they're probably going to label it with 3 letters. So remember, X has to be in the middle when we label an angle. So I can say angle Y X Z, as long as X is in the middle. I want you guys to tell me the other way I could have labeled it. Y X Z is my smallest angle. Go ahead and flip your paper over. In order to do these problems, you're gonna have to draw a triangle. There's no other way. I couldn't even do this without drawing a triangle. I'm not gonna do these for you, but I'm gonna help you set them up. They tell you that this triangle is DEF. You're gonna have to label it first, D to E to F. It doesn't matter which direction or which one is D or E or F, but now when you plug it in, it does matter. So they're telling you that D to E is 8. This is a side length that has a line above it. It's not an angle. So we have to say that this whole side is 8. We don't put it in the inside of a triangle. That's for angles. We put it on the outside in the middle. So this is 8. E to F is this whole side is 6. E to F is 6. And the third side, F to D to F, is 10. This whole side, put it in the middle, is 10, which lists the angles in order from smallest to largest. So remember, the smallest angle is opposite the smallest side is opposite the smallest angle. Okay. So I need to remember that. And they want us to order the angles. Of course, they didn't give us the angles. They gave us the side lengths from smallest to largest. The smallest side length out of the 6, 8, and 10 is 6. So I'm going to cover 6 up with my hand, and I'm going to see the only letters I can see completely is D. Angle D is my smallest angle. That's my opposite angle. Okay, 8 is my medium side, so I'm going to cover it up with my hand. And my angle that I can see, my opposite angle, is angle F. Maybe it'll be helpful if I made it a little bit bigger so you could really not see anything else. But if you believe me, the opposite would be F. You can kind of tell, like this, right? Okay, now my biggest side is 10, so I'm going to cover that up. That means my biggest angle is angle E. That's it. You can label those different ways. This one, it says the measure of angle A, maybe it goes right here, and then B right here, and then C right here. This is my triangle name, ABC. But A, it says, is 2x minus 4, so that goes right here. But B, it says, is 3x, and C is x plus 16. I don't know what each angle is, but I know that every single angle in a triangle adds up to be 180. So your first step is going to be to add them up, plus 3x plus x plus 16, and we add them up and set them equal to 180. When you find out what x is, you have to combine like terms, 2x and 3x, and x gives us 6x. 16 minus 4 is positive 12. When you solve this, you're going to get x equals a number, and then you're going to plug it in for each one. Whatever that number is, plug it into A, plug it into B, plug it into C, and then you'll be able to find out the smallest angle. Remember, that's opposite the smallest side, medium angle, medium side, big angle, big side. All right, guys, this number 10, it says two sides of the triangle have side lengths 5 and 20. Remember, when you're given two sides, you have to do two things. You have to start with the bigger number. You can't start with 5. You're going to add them, and you're going to subtract them. Remember, the smaller number comes first, and then the bigger number goes second. All right, this one, number 11, it says that she made these measurements, ABC. BC must be between, usually we would just add them and subtract them, but I see that they give us two angles in this triangle. 60 plus 50 is actually 110, and I know that the angles in a triangle add up to be 180. 180 minus 110 is 70. So I know that this is 70 degrees. And so I can actually narrow this third side down even more. I know that the 70-degree angle is the biggest, so it has to be opposite the biggest side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down this, I don't know why it's like this now. I'm going to bring this down, and if we cover up the biggest side with or the biggest angle with our hand, the one showing is AC. So AC has to be the big side. This 12 is the biggest. The smallest angle is 50. So my smallest side is opposite this. Sorry guys. So the smallest angle is 50, so the smallest side is opposite. This is my small side. Okay, but if my smallest side is 10 and my biggest side is 12, then my third side, my medium side, this has to be the medium one, has to be between 12 and 10. It can't be smaller than 10 because it's a medium side. It can't be bigger than 12 because it's the big side. So it has to be between 10 and 12. So we can narrow it down even more. This one, I encourage you to try it out. This is probably going to be on your quiz, and you can ask me if you have questions. Basically, they're telling you that you have a triangle ABC. Again, it doesn't matter where you put the AB and the C. Let's put it right here, like that. It says C is smaller than B, but B is smaller than A. That means C is the smallest angle. The symbol right here means angle. So C is the small angle, B is the medium angle, and A is the big angle. Well, the small angle is opposite the smallest side. So if C is the smallest angle, then the smallest side is the one opposite, which is AB. I want you guys to finish this, but your answer is probably going to be an inequality also. AB is less than the medium side, which is less than the big side. So this is the small one. Put the medium one in the middle always, and then the big one this time is going to go on the end. Okay? Because I want it from least to greatest. Alright, if you guys have any questions, I encourage you to ask. Have a wonderful day.